Okay, Susan, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to be carrying out your lesson today, and what we're going to do today, we're going to have a look at the turn in the road.
Okay.
Now, this isn't a suitable area to do the turn in the road, so what we're going to do, we're going to drive to a suitable area. What we're going to do as we're driving out there is just have a look at your driving, and if you have got any areas that I can help you with, I'm going to point it out and help you with. Maybe look at your mirrors or your signalling as we're driving out, so at least we're giving something that we're going to be working on as we drive to the area. Once we get to the area, then we'll pull up. I'll talk to you about what we've just been doing, and then I'll explain to you all about the turn in the road and how we're going to deal with it.
Okay, sounds fine.
Okay, so what we'll do then is, if you want to get yourself prepared, get your cockpit drill done, and then we'll move off and we'll get to the area.
Okay.
Now, looking well ahead of us down there, we've got the red car on the left and the cars on the right.
Yeah.
Potential meeting situation. Have you dealt with these before?
No, not properly. At the end of the road, turn right.
Okay, so just checking your mirrors now and just moving out, but anticipating somebody may come into the junction at the end.
Yeah.
And at the end of the road, we're going to turn right.
Okay.
Okay, do you feel happy with these junctions?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay. So when are you going to signal?
Now.
Is it open or closed?
Closed.
Okay, excellent. What gear are you going to require?
First.
And have you dealt with cars parked on the opposite side of the road like that before?
I have come across it before because I just need to do quite a lot of steering, I think, don't I? Yes.
Okay. Anybody behind us?
No.
That's good. Well done. Okay then, Susan. So we've just pulled up here now, where we're going to do the turn in the road. But just before we do that, let's have a quick chat about your driving.
Okay.
In general, I feel that you drove really well. You've got good car control. You're aware of what's happening around you.
Okay.
All right. Good use of mirrors and signals. One area that I think we do need to work on regarding your mirrors is maybe getting to your mirrors that little bit earlier before you start to slow down and stop.
Oh yeah, you were telling me that, weren't you?
Okay. Can you remember why you need to look in your mirrors well before you start to slow down and stop?
Well, really, so that you can time your brake lights
That's it.
for following traffic.
Okay. So what we'll do is we drive back to where we're going to finish the lesson. We'll actually work on that a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay. So what we'll do now then, we'll move on to the turn in the road. Okay. So this is basically what we're going to be doing. We're going to be moving off from here, going over onto the other side of the road.
Yeah.
All right. Then selecting reverse, dropping it back into this position, steering the wheels as we go back, and then coming back here, so we're actually stopping virtually opposite ourselves on the other side of the road.
Okay.
All right. Any ideas why you want to do that?
Yeah, if I need to turn the car around,
Okay.
facing the other direction.
All right. And later on in lessons, when we're doing bay parking and things like that, will also help you with that.
Oh, right, okay.
Okay.
Sounds interesting.
Right. Before we go much further on that, then, what other manoeuvres have you already done?
I've done reversing round a corner.
Yep. Okay. So if you think about the skills that you utilise for reversing around a corner, and when you're moving off, and when you're doing your hill starts, all the skills that you've got there are the skills that we're going to need today to actually do this exercise.
Okay.
So, explain it to you first of all, and then what we'll do, we'll go and have a practice, and I'm going to give you lots of help, and as you start to improve, I'll ease off, as we've done on other lessons, until eventually doing it on your own.
Okay, fine.
All right. So, because that diagram's quite small in the book, what we'll do our own diagram. All right. So this is us parked here at this moment in time. What system do you use at the moment when you come to move away? What do you think about doing in your head?
Making sure it's safe to go, looking all around.
Have you got a particular system like preparation, observation, move, mirror signal manoeuvre that you do?
No, not really. I mean, I probably, preparation, observation, move, I suppose, is what I do.
Brilliant.
In effect.
All right, so what we'll do that here then. So we're going to prepare the car,
Okay.
we're going to make all round observations you normally do, and then we're going to move.
Okay.
Now, preparing for a normal level start, as we are here, okay, and then we're going to observe. So where would you normally observe before you move off?
My mirrors and my blind spot and road ahead.
Okay, well I want you to do all those things as well, all right, but I want you to have a look over this shoulder.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
so we're having a good 360-degree observation, because what we really want to do is make sure that there's nobody around that we're going to create a problem to.
But I don't usually look over my left shoulder.
Okay, well there could be pedestrians there could be somebody coming out of these gateways here, because you're not just going to move off and drive down the road, you're going to be going over there. All right, so we need to know what's happening all the way around
Okay,
us.
yeah, I understand that.
Okay, now usually when you come to move off, at that point you consider a signal.
Yeah, I would, yes.
Well, in this instance, you're not even going to think about signalling, because if there's somebody around that we would need to inform, it's not really safe for us to do this manoeuvre.
Okay,
All right?
okay.
So once we've made those observations and we know it's safe and clear, and there's nobody around that we're going to interfere with, then we're going to move. And as you did on your left reverse, we're going to do real slow movements, keeping the car moving quite slow. But what we're going to do this time, we're going to steer very, very briskly to the right to get it into full right lock.
Okay.
And what we're going to do, we're going to come across in this position here towards the other side of the road. When you get about 1 metre away from the side of the road, what we're going to do is we're going to start to steer the steering wheel as quickly as we can to the left. So what we're really doing is trying to get the wheels in a position that's suitable to help us go backwards.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to be coming across like this. And what we're going to try and do is get the wheels at least straight, if not slightly to the left.
Okay.
And we're going to stop before we touch or overhang the curb. Secure the car, then we're going to use preparation, observation and move again. This time though we're preparing for uphill in reverse because of the camber of the road. Going to make all round observations, 360 degrees we did before, and then we're going to move. Now, when you did your left reverse, which shoulder did you look over?
My left shoulder.
Excellent.
Through
Okay.
the windscreen.
Well, that's where you're going to be looking this time. You're going to be looking back over your left shoulder because that's where the car's going to be going. And again, keeping the car moving really slow and steering quick, you're going to steer quickly into full left lock, and we're going to bring the car back in this position here. Now, when we get to about that position, all right, and I'll help you with this, we're going to change our view and we're going to look over your right shoulder. Because what's going to happen is the car's going to be coming around in this position here, and what we want to do is be looking over this shoulder here to see whereabouts we are regards the curb. And we want to be stopping just before we touch the curb, and just before we get back, we want to be steering the wheels in the opposite direction again.
Okay.
Then we're going to do preparation, observation and move again. Moving off, still keeping the car slow, moving it round in this position, okay, and stopping virtually opposite to where we are now.
Okay, that sounds all right.
So the three main skills you're going to be using is good coordination of your controls, all right, so we're keeping the car moving slow and steering quickly.
Okay.
Good all-round observations, 360 degrees before we move off, and continually looking around so we don't interfere with anybody else. And accuracy. We want to be reasonably accurate to the curb so we're not touching or overhanging. Okay. Now there are other things that I could tell you, but if they arise, I'll talk about it then and help you with it. And when we get back to this position, then we can talk about it in more depth if need to.
That sounds okay, yes.
Okay. So what we'll do then, if you want to get yourself ready, and we'll go and have a practice.
Okay.